Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, hanging in there.
Yeah, almost Friday.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Kitty's getting big. So I didn't go over the tests yet, your written work yet. I will. I just didn't have time yet. All right, I know where everybody is. It's 9. Everybody felt like yesterday was a test. They don't have to come today, right? So Aaron and Amari, I was just telling AJ and Olivia that I didn't go through the test work yet, but I will. So just so you know. All right. Oh, Yesenia, are you tired? No yawning. You're going to make us all tired. And you look cold. Are you cold too? It's one of those days. I know it's crazy that it's so warm in the afternoons, but in the mornings it's chilly. I see us wearing sweatshirts and jackets and things. All right. Um, so we'll start talking even though we don't have everyone yet. You took your test yesterday. I know some of you gave me some feedback that you ran out of time, right? Did anyone feel like they ran out of time? Yeah. So kind of. All right, so I will be looking at your written work yet. I haven't done it yet. So your grade's not finalized until I look at that. And usually your grade goes up, right? So usually your grade doesn't go down. So that's the good news. We're going to start probability today. You did some assignments last night, right? Did you just have to do your, I can't remember what I made do yesterday. If it was just your reading or if it was your mini lesson too. Did you have to do the mini lesson last night? No, okay, just the reading. So the mini lesson must be tonight or by, this weekend or something, whatever I put on there. All right, so that being said, you do have a reflection to do as well. And you can wait. I'm hoping to get through those tests as quickly as I can, but I do go over every single question for every single person. So it's more time consuming than you might realize. So hopefully you showed me a lot of work, right, on your paper. So you can get some partial credit on that. Any questions about the test or anything before we start with what we're going to do today? No? So none of the questions on the test were a surprise, right? Like they were all just like the review, right? Okay, good. So, and I get that time might have been an issue. So, but now you know that my reviews are very similar to my test. So it's a good idea to get that review finished and then make sure you get help on whatever you need. So let's talk probability. Well, first let's talk Thunderbird Thursday. So I put this in the weekly updates. I don't know how many of you are checking your weekly updates, which I might change our weekly updates after spring break, so I make sure you guys are reading your weekly updates. But it is the Thunderbird the Student Life came up with Thunderbird Times. So they started making like a newsletter. So remember how I share some of the things that are going on campus, but I always tell you there's so much going on. So I'm going to show you what they started doing. And I think this is literally like the second edition of it. So it's pretty new, but I thought it was worth sharing. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And you can see it has links to everything at the top, right? And it has, this newsletter is published bi-weekly, and you can find it here. So it has everything in it. We Care Wednesday, the virtual anime event, which is Friday, some student success workshops. What's nice about this is the links are right there. So you can just click them. A little information about people who made the all academic team at MCC. It's Women's History Month. Didn't know that, probably should have. The women's empowerment, I had sent you, that's on Monday night. This is a great group that's doing this women's empowerment event. The Footlight Forum, the moral and demographic imperative of ethnic studies. So, and then they have a link to scholarship information, a virtual paint party, a hackathon. If anyone's interested in computers, this would be a huge one, but it sounded like a pretty big commitment. It was, notice it says it's from the 15th to the 19th, and it's from 9 to 5. So it would be your whole spring break, which sounded a little scary to me, but if that's your thing, and you also had to know some things that I definitely don't know. I don't have JavaScript knowledge. I mean, it says it's only recommended, but not required. And then they have more things, civic engagement. And then, so they put everything in one place, trying to make it a little bit easier for you. If any of you are interested in career services, I know we have a couple undecideds in here. That would be a great thing. If you're looking for a job and you want to get a resume looked at, you could do that. So many things. I mean, look, just goes on and on. Some recipes, some for fun. So this is their new thing, is this T-Bird Times. Okay, so kind of a nice new thing. So right now what I want you to do is put in the chat what you think of when you hear the word probability. So get that ready in the chat. What do you think of when you hear the word probability? Don't hit enter yet, but just get it ready in the chat. All right, does everybody have it ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. So how likely something is, how likely something will happen, chance and luck, the likelihood of numbers within a group, likelihood something will occur, measurement that occurs, percent or fraction of something happening, the chance of something, a ratio, someone's odds of being picked, and the amount of something. So those are all good and all definitely related to probability. Now, odds is a little bit different than probability because it's got a different calculation, so be careful on that. I love Malachi saying that it could be a percent or a fraction, right? Because it could be. It could be written as a decimal, but oftentimes it's written as a percent or a fraction. Likelihood is a great one. Chance, I'm with. Luck, maybe not so much, right? Luck, I can't quantify mathematically, but chance, I can. Yeah. So that's what we're going to be talking about. And a lot of you are probably going, why do I need to know this? Right? Like this is supposed to be a class that's practical. And we talked about like practical things, why we would need statistics. We need to be able to read them accurately, right? We need to be able to read a graph, and you guys are thrown all kinds of statistics, and we need to be an intelligent viewer or consumer of statistics. But what do you think? Why do you need to learn probability? Why would that be a thing for you?
To be calculating the odds.
Yeah, so when would you need to know that?
Like when you're taking a risk.
Yeah, when you're taking a risk in your own life, you might need it, right? You guys actually, believe it or not, it's used in insurance rates all the time. So, you know, when you get your car insurance or your life insurance, or your homeowner's insurance or renter's insurance, all of those things, they look at probability to determine how much to charge you. Did you know that? So how many of you, when you got your license, if you got your license at 16, did anyone's parents say, you're not going to drive our car because we're not going to put you on our insurance? Because 16-year-old kids, it costs a lot of money, right? And it's because they gather all the statistics that we talked about before, and then they calculate probabilities of like a 16-year-old boy getting into an accident versus a 16-year-old girl getting in an accident. Do you know which rates are higher, males or females, 16-year-olds?
Was it male?
Yep. The likelihood of a male getting into an accident at age 16 is much, much higher than a female. Now, the female's probability of getting in an accident is still pretty high. So that's why they still charge you a lot. And it's not until males reach the age of like 25 that their insurance rates come down a lot. So just in case you're wondering, that's where those things come from. When you're buying something or when you're running a business, yeah. So when you run a business, you look at how much are you going to get back, right? How much profit are you going to make? And some of that is calculated through expected value, which is part of probability. Okay. So probability does apply to you, but it might not be overtly in your face, right? We talk about probability right now. What's the likelihood that you're going to get COVID-19? Right? When we talk about positivity rates and what does a mask do? What does a mask not do? Right? What if we're both wearing a mask? I'm sure you've seen that poster. If both people are wearing a mask, or if neither person's wearing a mask, or if just one person's wearing a mask. So those are statistics that they provide, but they're also related to probability. How likely is it that you're going to get it? So when they're saying the vaccines have a rate of 85% effectiveness, right? Well, what would that mean? So out of 100 people, right, that have gotten the vaccine, there's still going to be a percent that gets sick. Yes? that get COVID-19, even though they have the vaccine. So why get a vaccine? Well, because we know this transmission rate is very, very high and people can get extraordinarily sick. Yeah. So the new vaccine that got approved, Johnson & Johnson, I don't know how many of you are following the vaccine, but the Johnson & Johnson that just got approved, its effectiveness is lower. Did you see that? But they're saying it's hard to judge because remember the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccine came out before the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has been tested against more of the variants, the new strains. So we don't know the effectiveness of the Moderna and the Pfizer on the new strains as much as we do know the Johnson & Johnson. So it's interesting because you might say, oh, why would I get the Johnson & Johnson when it's less effective? We don't really know that it's less effective because we're not comparing the same things, right? And what we do know about the Johnson & Johnson is if you get that vaccine, your likelihood of hospitalization and death goes way down. It's still in the like 80%. So that's good. So just in case, I don't know if you're as bored of hearing about COVID-19 and you just feel like it's over, and probably none of you are even close to getting your vaccine because you guys are in a low risk group, supposedly, right? So, but you know, that discussion is on the horizon of why we should get the vaccine, why you shouldn't get the vaccine, where do you fall? And it actually has to do with why you guys are in a low risk age group, right? Because of the studies that they've done. So that is probability as well. So it's definitely related to lots of things that we do, but we might not think about them. Okay. All right. So today we're going to play a game. Nice. Well, we're not going to play a game. You're going to play a game, but I'm going to put the game board in the chat. If you want, you can look at it. I'm going to pull it up so we can see it together because I need to give real clear directions because I've done this before. Face to face, it's much easier. But online, I need to make sure I give you really clear directions. Why do I have to sign in? Hold on 1 second. It's because I changed my password yesterday. So. Sorry, guys. So you're going to play with one partner. And you're going to have different jobs and you're going to have to record some results. And if you know more than your partner, don't give it away. Just play the game and see how it works. I don't know why it didn't open that doc. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Ooh, didn't mean to move that. Okay, why can I not slide this way? That's okay, I'll slide it this way. Okay. So, like, let's say team one is Yesenia and Valerie, okay? So Yesenia and Valerie would have this recording sheet. Notice that you have 10 blue cubes or markers, and you have 10 red cubes or markers. So you're going to decide who's who, right? Who's going to be red, who's going to be blue in this game. And then you're going to place your cubes wherever you want. And if you make a copy of the document and you both have editing access, it's easier because you can actually move these. You can move these little cubes. Oh, I'm not capable of moving anything right now. You want to move these cubes where they go. Jeez, oh, Pete. It's just because of my iPad. Okay, so if I want to put one right there, let's say I want to put one cube on 7. I can put all my cubes on 7 if I want, or I can spread them out anywhere I want in the numbers 1 to 12. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to put your cubes there and your partner is going to put, so you're going to have 20 cubes out on this playing board. Okay, in their designated, whatever, wherever you want them. The goal of the game is to remove your cubes off the board before your partner does. But how you're going to do that is you're going to roll 2 dice. So you're going to roll 2 dice, they're just regular 6-sided dice, and you're going to add the 2 results together. Okay? So, and you're going to record that right here, just with like a little mark. So let's say I rolled a 1 and a 3. So what I really rolled was 4, right? So then if it's my turn and I rolled a 4 and I'm blue, if I have a blue cube on 4, I can take it off the board, but only one of them. Okay, then my turn is over. If I don't have a cube at 4, then my turn is over and it's the other person's turn. And then they take the same turn. They roll the dice, find the sum. If they have a cube on that sum, then they get to remove the cube from that sum. And you're just going to keep playing until you have a winner, right? So keep playing until one person removes all their cubes, and that person is the winner. So, but you're recording every roll. Like, remember I said I rolled a 1 and a 3? So you would just put 1 tally mark in 4. Okay? So questions on what the rules of the game. Question on the rules of the game. Okay. So when I tell you whose team you're on, and you'll see them in the breakout rooms, the first person I say their name, they're the leader for the project. Make sure that they keep the team going. You're going to make a copy and you're going to share it with your team. It's just going to be 2 of you. The other person is going to share the screen and share the results with the class. Okay, so after you're done playing at least 1 round of a game, you'll probably be able to play 2 games. Okay, you're going to put them on our class. You're going to record them on that sheet, which you have them. Sorry, you'll see it on that sheet. And then you're going to put your final answers after you play like 2 games in the class results spreadsheet. Okay, and I'll put your names in the class results spreadsheet. And so by about 10 o'clock, we'll have all the class results in there. Okay, that will be our hope. Okay, and then we'll talk about some vocab afterwards. Okay, so questions on what you're doing. Okay, your groups might change a little bit from what they were because we have some people missing. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Okay, so your group might change, your group might not change. I'm going to put Yesenia, and maybe I'll just make everybody's change. Yeah, so Yesenia and Valerie. So Yesenia, you're the team leader, okay? So let me go back to that. You're going to just make sure you're going to make a copy of the document and share it, okay? Then Valerie, you're going to share your screen, and then you're going to share the class results. So you're team 1. Team 2 is going to be Malachi and Angelina. Team 3, so Malachi, you're the team leader. Angelina, you're going to share your screen. Team 3 is going to be Aaron and Jenday. Okay. Oh, now I put you all in the same room. What am I doing? One moment, please. I don't know why I put you all in the same room. Oh, now I moved Yesenia to room 3. I'm losing my mind today. Okay, it's okay. Doesn't matter what room number you're in. You're good. You can just put your names at the top. I don't care if it's team 1 or whatever. Okay, then Olivia and AJ. And then Amanda and Amari. and then Ashley and Deshay. Okay, so any questions on what you're doing? Everybody understands the rules of the game. Oh, I got to put one more thing in the chat for you. How do you roll your dice? Here's an app for how you roll your dice. And I'll show it to you on here. Here's what it looks like to roll your dice. It brings you to this website. So one of you can be in charge of the dice if you want. So we want 2 dice. And I'm just going to click roll dice. Do you see I got a 1 and a 4? So I would record a 5, right, on my tally sheet. And if I had a 5, if it was my turn and I had a 5 in that column, I would remove one of those cubes. Malachi, question.
Oh, I ain't mean to do that. My bad.
That's okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, and then to roll again, you literally just click roll again. So one person can be in charge of the rolling, the other person can be in charge of recording. Okay?
I had a question.
Yeah, I'm ready.
For how when we record, like what numbers we get, where we tally them. And we're doing it like on the same paper, right?
Yeah. So
So
because
all
we're
of our
just trying
tally
to,
marks are going to be together.
yeah, we're just trying
Okay.
to keep track of which numbers come up more often.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter if you rolled it or your partner rolled it.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So you're gonna have to say hi to your new partner because you might not know them or you might not have ever been in a group with them. But how fun is that? Okay, so I'm gonna come visit you if you need it, and I'm gonna get your class results sheet ready. Okay, everybody have the sheet that they need. Okay, call me in if you need help. Hi guys, I have one team still finishing, but I wanted you guys to be able to put your results in. So I'm going to show you where I want you to put it. Hold on one second. I have to change to you editing. I'm going to share my screen in just a sec. So one group is still playing their second game. So, and I know some of you only played one game. That's okay. One person on your team needs to record the results. I'm going to share them. You're going to see what it looks like in just a second. So, okay. So I made a Google sheet and how much, oh my gosh, why is it making me sign in? This is the most annoying thing I've ever seen. Okay, here we go. So do you see your number on there already? Can you see my screen? Nice. So like, I don't know who's gonna read it, either Yesenia or Valerie. So you're gonna just type your number in there. So how many ones did you get? How many twos, threes, fours, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10s, and 11s and 12s? And then, wait a minute, did you just put a 1 in? Did you really get a 1?
Yeah, we got a 1 for the sum of 1 during the 2 games.
Impossible.
Really?
Impossible. You're rolling 2 dice. The smallest number you could get is a 2.
That's so true. I don't know how we got that. Wait, I have a photo of it. I'm sorry.
I think
Okay,
we got confused because we got snake eyes and we're like from the beginning.
so that's a 2.
Oh.
1 plus 1 is 2,
Okay, never mind. That changed.
right? I just freaked out. I was like, wait a minute, what, did you do the whole game wrong? That would be bad. Okay, so you can see Malachi and Jende, you'll record on that line. Are they back yet? No, not yet. There you go. So just one person record all the way across, just so we can see everybody's data together. Okay? Okay, perfect. All right, so after you get all those numbers recorded, you guys can talk like as a group while we're waiting for everyone else on, like, what did you notice when you were playing? And you guys can brag if you're the one who won both. I don't know, it's up to you, but just tell me what you were thinking about when you noticed numbers appearing, right? First of all, it was impossible to get a 1. What numbers were more likely and what numbers came up very rarely? So you guys can talk about that.
I see some people got 7 a lot. But we didn't.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And maybe even some 6s and some 8s. I don't know what was going on with Amari and Amanda rolling all those 10s. What was that about, man?
If we were to put it in a graph, I'm pretty sure this would end up like a bell shape because it seems like all the numbers in the middle are more higher than the ones on the side.
Valerie, that's fascinating. And it connects to what we just finished with statistics, right? Awesome, good. Keep thinking about that. I'm gonna go check on a couple of our groups and figure out what happened.
Did you guys play 2 games or did you guys play more than 2 games? Like in the other groups?
We played 2.
We also played 2.
All right, so Jenday and who were you with? Malachi? Yeah. Jenday and Malachi, I'm gonna give you the spreadsheet that they're all writing on. So you have those totals. So you can enter your total in. As soon as I figure out where my chat went. Okay. All right, there you go. So just one of you enter, you can see that you guys have a line. Here's the second one down. So just put your totals in those boxes all the way across. And then you can look at other people's totals as well. All right, the cat just needed to leave my room. So. All right, and Ashley and Deshay, I'm gonna put that in the chat again so you can put, you see I'm sharing a spreadsheet on my screen and you guys have a row on there. So go ahead and enter in your data. Do you like how it names you guys like Anonymous Frog and all of those things? I'm always fascinated by those little names it puts on you guys. I don't know why. Okay, and Valerie brought up a good point. Valerie, do you want to tell everyone in here what you were saying before? Because not everybody was here.
Oh, about the graph, comparing it to a bell shape because all the higher numbers are in the middle and the lower numbers are mainly on the side.
Nice. And I think Yesenia brought up that boys 7 seem to appear a lot, right? Let's see if that's true for everybody else's. So what's nice is we'll play this game again in my next class and they'll put their data in here too. And then we can have more data because the more data you have, the more consistent your results become. And we'll talk about that too next week. Okay, so I know the game was a little difficult online, but you kind of got the hang of it, right? Yeah, and now you were like, okay, now if we played again, we would be much better, right? Okay, so we'll look at this data on Monday once I have both classes all together. Oh, look at that. You guys got 23 sixes. That's insane, Ashley and Deshay. You guys were on a roll there. Get it? On a roll. That was a pun. I know, it was bad. It's okay. It's okay. Thanks, Jinday. I appreciate that. Smile. Okay, good. So make sure your data gets in there. I'm going to go back to this, and I just want to show you one thing. We'll look at that next week. Let's just talk about theoretical probability. If we were trying to just figure out what's the likelihood of rolling something on a dice, well, if we were only looking at one dice, right? If we were just looking at one dice, I'll just go to a blank page down here. If we had one dice, one single six-sided die, and we want to know what's the likelihood we're going to roll a 2. So on a six-sided dice, we only have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? And probability is computed by the successes or the favorable outcomes divided by the total outcomes. That's how you figure it out. So in other words, in this one, how many 2s are there on one single six-sided dice? Yeah, there's just one. There's just 1, 2. And then how many total numbers are there on the dice?
6.
6. So the probability that you're going to get a 2 when you just roll one dice is 1 out of 6. Does that make sense? They're all equally likely. So if I said, what's the probability you're going to roll an odd number? And you use this same computation, what do you think the fraction would be?
A half.
1/2.
Yeah, it'd be 1/2. Now, you guys skipped a little interim step here. There's 3 odd numbers, 1, 3, and 5, and there's still 6 total numbers, right? So 3 over 6 is the same as 1/2. So when you roll a dice, one dice, you're either going to get an odd number or an even number, right? And there's 1/2 likelihood either way. Now, we could make our questions more complicated and say, what's the probability you roll a number greater than 4? So what's the probability you roll a number greater than 4 when you roll one six-sided die?
2.
2 out of what?
6.
Yep. So that's going to simplify to 1/3, which is less likely than rolling an odd number. Make sense? And they could ask you all kinds of questions like this. Now, we're going to talk about, we rolled 2 dice and we added them together. And we're going to talk about what Valerie was noticing with that bell-shaped curve. And we're going to talk about that on Monday. You do have a mini lesson due this weekend. You also have a statistics reflection. Yes? Those 2 things are due this weekend. I don't just know that I really made that mini lesson due tonight, but it'd probably be nice to get it out of the way. And then your statistics reflection is due Sunday. I will get through those tests as soon as I can. Okay. So but you don't want me to rush because then I'm meaner when I rush, right? So you want me to take my time and give you every point I possibly can, right? Okay. So I'm putting your exit ticket in the chat. It should be pretty quick. And you guys did great. I hope you kind of liked playing the game. I did hear a couple people laughing when I was in the room. So that's good. And I will see you on Monday. Don't forget your statistics reflection, okay? And your PC1 mini lesson. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know if you have any questions. Nice job, Jen Day. See ya.